I think I'm live now. My microphone is also set up. Um, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna solve this problem now. Oh, let me see if my stream is working correctly or not. All right, my stream is looking pretty good. Let's solve this problem now. It's called tickets. Let's see what the statement says. Nor, and do you pronounce it as nor? Let me see. N-O-U, N-O-U-R.
Nor.
Yep, Nor. That's how you pronounce it. Nor is a big fan of Ahly football team.
Ollie.
Ali. Nor is a big fan of Ali football team. One day he went to the club to book a ticket for the next match. After he booked the ticket, he waited for the bus to take him home. So he started playing a game with his friend. In one operation, a person with ID X enters the queue. Okay, queue data structure, they already told it in the statement. That means we have to use queue anyway. So, or the one standing at the beginning of the queue books his ticket and leaves. What? Uh, I will read that again for better understanding. Nor will guess the ID of the one who is leaving the queue. And for each guess, you have to tell whether he guessed correctly or not. Operation 1 means that person with ID X enters the queue. 2X means that the person left the queue and nor guessed that his ID is X. Assume that nor always guesses an ID that has already entered the queue, and he will never guess unless there is at least one person in the queue that nor guesses at least one time. So confusing, but once we read the statement few more times, everything will get clear, I hope. That's what usually happens. You don't understand the statement by reading just once. You have to read multiple times. Okay, you have to tell Noor if he guesses right or wrong. Mm, okay. Let's see the constraints. The first line of input contains one integer n, which is not more than 10 to the power 5, the number of operations. The next n lines contain two integer a and b. A is for the operations, I think, because it's just less than 2. I mean less than or equal to 2. And b, what is b actually? The ID, I think. The type of operation and the ID, yep, which is not more than 10 to the power 6. When NOR guesses, tell him yes if he guesses right, no if he guesses wrong in a single line. Alright. It should be simple enough. I didn't quite understood what they are asking for, so I'm gonna read it a couple more times. Also, I better bring my whiteboard for the visual. Let's keep the whiteboard on the right side. Okay. Noor is a big fan of Ali football team. Okay, that line is understood. One day he went to the club to book a ticket for the next match. Okay, so one day he went to the club to book a ticket for the next match. He had to book a ticket for the next match. Okay, obviously. After he booked the ticket, he waited for the bus to take him home. So he booked the ticket and he was ready to go home. Okay, he was waiting for the bus to take him home, and he booked the ticket for the next football match. So he started playing a game with his friend. So his friend was also with him, and he started to play a game. In one operation, a person with ID X enters the queue. Okay, multiple person. I think in one operation, a person with ID X enters the queue. Alright, they mentioned a queue, so I'm gonna make a queue. This can represent a queue. So, a person with ID X, let's say the ID is 8, entered the queue, or okay, person with ID X entered the queue, or the one standing at the beginning of the queue. Suppose there are more IDs, meaning more person. So who's standing at the front, at the beginning of the queue? This guy is standing at the beginning of the queue because, yeah, this is how queue works. First in, first out. Or the one standing at the beginning of the queue books his ticket and leaves. So he books his tickets and then leaves. And then now the first person is this one. I mean, now the person who's at the beginning of the queue is this guy right here. Okay. Then what? Noor will guess the ID of the one who is leaving the queue, and for each guess, you have to tell whether he guessed correctly or not. Okay, he's gonna guess the ID. How is he gonna do that? Noor will guess the ID of the one who is leaving the queue, and for each guess, you have to tell whether he guessed correctly or not. Operation 1 means that the person with ID X enters the queue. Operation X equal 2 means that a person left the queue and Noor guessed that his ID is X. Means that a person left the queue and Noor guessed that his ID is. Oh, I see. So when we have operation 1, these IDs will be entered in the queue. Simple, just when operation 1, ID 10 enters the queue, is that is a 10, no? Not 16. Then ID 20 enters the queue, and then uh, so operation 2, meaning the beginning of the queue, that ID will be removed, so 10 will be removed. And then here, meaning our friend Noor guessed that the person that is leaving the queue right now is 20, but it's actually 10, so he did not guess correctly. That means we have to output no. And then again ID 30 enters the queue, and then again the beginning of the queue is the ID which is at the beginning of the queue is 20, so that person is gonna leave the queue. And let's see if our friend Noor guessed correctly or not. Yep, he guessed 20. That means he guessed correctly. That's how we got the output. That is really straightforward. Just queuing, just pushing elements into the queue and then popping them out, and just put a if condition there to check whether he guessed correctly or not, and that's all. Nothing more complicated stuff. I mean, nothing too complicated. So what is the name? I'm gonna put this on the left side and the statement on the right side. I don't need that much space for the statement. So what's your name? Tickets. Okay, I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna make a new file, CPP for C++, because I usually solve problems with C++. I also solve with Python. but I started solving problems with C. Then I moved to C++. Then I also learned Python and other few languages. But I'm most comfortable with C++. And I would say it's better for learning data structures and algorithm. So what do we have first? N. Let's take our N input. Then we have N operations. So we can take a while loop, or I can take for loop, doesn't really matter. So every time we have two inputs, two integer inputs for every operations, and the first one is the type of the operation, and the second one is the ID. So OP ID, got it. Then so if the operation is 1, we need a if condition for this one to check whether what type of operation that is. So if OP equal 1, we have to push into the queue. Oh, we have to make our queue. Let's initialize a queue, just a simple plain old queue. And then if the operation is 1, just push the ID inside the queue, and we're done. We don't have to do anything else. And if the operation is 2, just pop the ID from the queue, put that inside a variable called value. Okay, we're taking the front of the queue, obviously. Now we got the the beginning, the ID which is at the beginning of the queue. We get that, we store that in the value, and then we have to remove that also, because once we got the ID, that ID cannot stay in the queue. That's what they said in the statement. So simply just pop the very first element. Now we have to check if our friend Noor guessed correctly or not. Simple, just take a if condition, check if value is equal id or not. If it's equal id, then just print yes, like this. And if no, just no, he didn't guess correctly. He didn't guess correctly, not guessed. Grammar mistake. So why don't we run it and check the input output that they provided for us. No, yes, working correctly for the first input output. Yes, yes, no. I think we are done here. I'm gonna submit the code now, and it's probably gonna be accepted because I don't see any corner cases here. Oh wait, what if there is no one in the queue? Do they have a corner case like that? I hope not. The queue should always have at least someone, right? If I get a runtime error, that means they have a corner case for when queue, I mean sometime when queue is empty. I don't know if I said it correctly or not. I can see that test case 4 test case was successful. Oh, that means there is no corner case like that, so we are fine. How long does it take for them to test it? I wish the quantum computer comes soon. Then it'll be lighting fast. Like when you submit this instant result. Quantum computer will be a game changer, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I will live enough to see it. In the meantime, the main time is completed. I was about to go check my stream, but I already got the good news. Now I'm gonna move on to another problem. Okay. Also, let's check my stream though. Let's see how it's doing. Oh, that means there is no corner case like that, so we are fine. How long does it take for them to test it? I wish the quantum computer comes soon. Then it'll be lighting fast. Like when you submit this instant result. Better for learning data structure. I feel like I talk way too slow. I need to fix that. Any suggestions? I don't see anyone watching right now, but if you watch it, just leave a comment like how I can improve that. I will be grateful. So let's move on to another problem. So, yep, this is the problem. cd and pwd commands. Alright, let's begin with the statement. I'm gonna try to speak loudly, okay? Okay. Vastia is writing an operating system shell, and it should have commands for working with directories. To begin with, he decided to go with just two commands. cd, yeah, we are familiar with the cd command, aren't we? We use in the cmd to create directory, I think. Change the current directory, or yeah, also for moving to directories. Anyway, and pwd, display the current directory. Directories in Vastia's operating system form a traditional hierarchical tree structure. I like tree structures. I mean, I like to solve problems that are graph related. Tree is also kind of a graph where there is no loop. Anyway, there is a single root directory denoted by the slash character. Yeah, there is a root directory, and from the root the branches are scattered. There's a single root directory denoted by the slash character, /. Every other directory has a name, a non-empty string consisting of lowercase Latin letters. Each directory except for the root has a parent directory. Yeah, that's usually the case for the tree. The root obviously doesn't have a parent because that's the root. There's nothing before that. But other than the root, every child or leaf has a parent node. The one that contains the given directory, it is denoted as 2 full stop. You might call this as period. Both are correct, obviously. The command cd takes a single parameter, which is a path in the file system. The command changes the current directory to the directory specified by the path. The path consists of the name of directories separated by slashes. The name of the directory can be two double periods, which means a step up to the parent directory, can be used in any place of the path, maybe several times. If the path begins with a slash, it is considered to be an absolute path. That is, the directory changes to the specified one starting from the root. If the parameter begins with a directory name, or it is considered to be a relative path. That is, the directory changes to the specified directory starting from the current one. The command pwd should display the absolute path of the current directory. This path must not contain this double period. Initially, the current directory is the root. All directories mentioned explicitly or passed indirectly within any command cd are considered to exist It is guaranteed that there is no attempt to transition to the parent directory to the root directory. I actually didn't get any of that I just read, but I'll get it out if I read it few more times. Just like I said, you have to read it few times to completely understand. I mean, if you understood it by reading just one, I would say you're pretty exceptional. But I am not that exceptional, so I'm gonna read it a few more times. The first, but I would like to be exceptional, obviously. Imagine just reading it once and then understanding everything and just starting solving it. You can solve so many problems in just a short amount of time. The first line of the input data contains the single integer n. The constraint is pretty small, just 50. I don't know, there's still a lot more constraints left, so don't we should not get our hopes high. The number of commands. Then follow n lines. This is how the output looks like. Then follow n lines. Each contains one command. Each of these lines contains either command pwd or command cd. So each of the line will have at least one of the two commands, pwd or cd. Every line has that. Okay. Followed by a space separated non-empty parameter. So only cd has other parameters, but pwd is just a single string in a line always. The command parameter cd only contains lowercase Latin letters, slashes, and dots. Two slashes cannot go consecutively. Dots occur only as the number of a parent pseudo directory. The command parameter cd does not end with a slash, except when it. Let me see if my microphone sensitivity dropped down. It sometimes drops down. So I need to check it occasionally. The command parameter cd does not end with a slash, except when it is the only symbol that points to the root directory. The command parameter has a length from 1 to 200 characters inclusive. Okay, meaning it can be 1 or 200, and also in between. Directories in the file system can have the same names. Really? That could be confusing though. Directories in the file system can have same names. I mean, if it's in the, suppose, let me try to explain what I mean visually. Yeah, they can be same name, like home is a folder name and we have another folder name home, but I don't think that we can rename the same two folder when they're in the same directory. I think we can name it same when they're in a different directory. Like home directory is inside another directory called, let me erase that. Not the root. Suppose we have a folder named temporary, and inside the temporary folder we have a folder called home. And suppose we have another folder named temp1, and inside that folder we have a folder named home. I think that's how we can give two different folders the same name, but not when they are in the same folder. Like inside the temp folder we cannot have two folders in the same name. I'm pretty sure, because we are familiar with how our file explorer works, right? So I don't need to explain it that much, I hope. For each command pwd, you should print the full absolute path of the given directory ending with a slash. It should start with a slash and contain the list of slash separated directories in the order of being nested from the root to the current folder. It should contain no dots. Wow, that is a huge statement. Still a lot of understanding left. I mean, still a lot left to understand. Let's see the input output. We might understand more from the input output than the whole statement. Not usually the case for all, not usually the case always. Anyway, pwd, what does it mean? What do you have to do? pwd displays the current directory. So what is the current directory? Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. We have to show which directory we are in. So we have our first operation pwd, but we didn't go into any directory yet. So that's why just a forward slash, because I think we're in the root. There is a single root directory denoted by the slash character. Yep. Because we didn't go into any directory yet, that means we're in the root directory, which is this slash. Alright. Then what? Then we are going to the cd home Vasya directory. So let's make the directory here. So we were at the root directory, then we went to home directory, and then we went to Vasya folder or directory, whatever you call it. So when they asked us to show the directory we are currently at, we have to show this. Alhamdulillah. Home Vasya. I'm writing with my mouse, you know. I don't have a tab. Then what? cd dot dot means I think each directory except for the root has a parent directory, the one that contains the given directory. It is denoted as dot dot. The name of the directory can be dot dot, which means a step up. The name of the directory can be double period, which means a step up to the parent directory. Oh, so when we encountered double period, that means we have to go up. So we were here, and where do we reach when we go up? We reach home. So we are currently here in our directory, okay? And then when they asked us to print the directory we are at, we just simply print this home. You see? Oh wait, we also have to, oh yeah, don't forget the forward slash after each directory. Okay, all right, then cd Vasya. Okay, let's go to Vasya folder again, and then dot dot isn't actually a folder, it says step back, meaning we are now at the home directory. And then go inside the patio directory. Did I name that guy correctly? Let's see how that.
Petya.
Yep, exactly what I said, patio. So we are currently here at our directory, and when they asked us to print the directory, just simply print home patio. You know what, I'm just gonna copy that, bring it over here, and that is, oh, don't forget the forward slash. Okay, and that is our output. I told you we would understand better if we just do the input output and we didn't have to read the statement again. that would that that would have taken a lot of time. Instead we understood just from the input output. Let's also try to solve this one. This one looks a bit confusing though, but shouldn't be that hard. So 4 operations. First we have cd. So we are here at the beginning, even before any operations, we are already at the root. Then we are going to folder A, go to folder A, then go to folder B, then print what? Just print this. Below this we'll have all the print. What? I used Control C, but it didn't work. My print got removed, some of its part got removed. So this is what we print. Oh, don't forget the forward slash. Why do I keep forgetting that? Alright, correct for the first one. Then what? Then a step back. Alright, simply just step back one folder, and then folder A. So we have another folder A. That means, yeah, this is how you can have same name for a folder. Folder A and folder A, they are not in the same folder. This folder A is inside this folder. That's how you get the name, like this. So it's just that inside the temp folder you might have another temp folder, okay? But it's not like that you in one directory, let's say this temp folder is in a root directory, and inside there are 2 folders like temp. That's not the case. Just one folder named temp, and inside the temp we have temp. I mean, these 2 folders are the same. Inside the temp we have temp folder and also home folder. You can write it like that also. so it doesn't get confusing. Okay, anyway, so we went to folder A and then go to folder B and then print which directory we are at now. Don't forget the forward slash at the last, and that's how we got this. Pretty simple. So we can solve it pretty simply, just some string manipulation. So let's begin with the code. I'm gonna put this on the right side and my code blocks on the left side, my most preferable way. So what's your name? It's a long name. So let's get all the syntax. I'm gonna hide this for now. It's quite hard to debug with this on. So we have n. Why am I feeling so tired already? I mean, when I talk for like 10 or 20 minutes, I already start to feel tired. I wish I could talk like other people for hours and don't get tired at all. Alright, enough of being tired. What do we have next? Oh yeah, operations. So obviously it's a string. Do I need to explain this, why I typed while and minus? I guess not. It's just that I want to run my for loop for n times. Okay, here I explained it. Now a string op, so if our op is pwd, that means print the current directory you're at. Why did I write until here? op equal cd, that means go inside some directories or whatever. Alright, I think we should initialize a string outside the for loop which represent our this thing. I mean, we always, when we got pwd, we always just copied that and pasted here, right? So this thing we're gonna create outside the while loop, and each time we hit pwd, we're just gonna take that string and print it. Simple. And we also, when we hit cd, we're gonna do the manipulation on this string outside the while loop. You'll understand better once I write the code. So this is our directory, so I'm gonna name it as such. It will be easier for others to understand when they read my code, because my code is uploaded on my GitHub. You can also see that my GitHub link will be in the description, obviously. So as we already see that even without doing any operations, we are at here in our directory. So I'm gonna store this inside the directory. You know what, you can also store it like this. Okay. So as I said, when we hit pwd, just simply print our directory. Done. Oh wait, I always say don't forget the slash. So yeah, I will edit that inside the directory. I mean, when we manually solved it, we didn't always put the slash and slash here, but you can also do that here. Okay, that will be much simpler, so that you can just print the directory whenever you hit pwd and don't have to manipulate anything. I mean, the manipulation also will be really simple. You just have to write this and you are done. Not that hard, is it? So okay, now this is the hard part. So cd, then we have a space. The space really doesn't matter that much. Then we have a whole string. You see, there is no space in between this whole thing. That means it's just a single string. It would have been easier if there were spaces, but it's also easy because we have our slashes, so not that hard. But it would have been much easier if there were spaces. We could have just individually took those folder names or step back. Let's do it how they want us to do it. All right. First, let's just take the string input, okay? I'm gonna call it folders. I think path will be a better name for that, don't you think? So now that we have our entire string, except the cd, we already got that. Now we only have to deal with this part. Yeah, so let's just iterate through the string, take the folders, step backs, and then do it. You know what? What if I change all these forward slashes to space and then I just easily read all these using iString stream? Are you familiar with this? You can read a string which has something like this, okay? This is a string, and with the help of iString stream you can read individual words like this easily. That's gonna make our job a whole lot easier. I'll just show you, okay? So what I said, I'm gonna change these forward slashes to space. So I'm gonna need a for loop, but before I get a for loop, I'm gonna see the length. I'm gonna store the length of the string inside the length variable because we want to run our for loop for that length. We don't want it to overflow or get out of range. For I less than length. And then if our path is equal a forward slash, I'm taking single quotation and not double quotation because this thing is gonna give us a character of the string, not the string, just a character of the string. So this is a character, so we cannot compare a character with a string. We have to compare a character with a character. That's why the single quotation. So if path at I, that means path I is equal a space. So after that I'm gonna see how my path looks like. So let's just debug it, okay, and see how it looks like actually. So 7 pwd, what do we have? We got our root folder just like this, and then cd home Vasia. Now we should get something like home space Vasia. Also this is also converted to space, that's why we got the extra space at the beginning. That means we are doing well for now. I mean, what we wanted is working correctly, but we're still not done. Now comes the iString stream for reading the individual words. As I remember, I have to declare it like this. This is a variable, okay, and this is gonna read the path, and then we simply have to run a ranged based for loop, or it's not actually a for loop. I mean, I run this actually, read, and then we take another string. We have to declare the string, of course. String, let me just name it word instead of value because we're reading the words, right? So in the while loop, suppose let me visually explain it. Because iString I declared, I initialized iString stream read with our path. That means suppose this is our path, and inside this read we have our path, and when I run this while loop, we'll get every word inside this word variable, and we can do whatever we want. We can just print that, or we can do whatever we like. So if I print it, it's gonna be like this. For the first iteration, this is gonna the word is gonna read MD. It's gonna print out MD, and then again the word is gonna read Imran, and this is gonna print it, and then Khan, and then Siam. This is gonna do this exactly, and then when we are at the end of the string, when there is nothing else, simply it's gonna break out of this while loop like magic, not a magic. And we are not gonna print this, okay? We want our word for manipulating this directory. Let's think about how we can manipulate that. Okay, I think we need a if condition here, because if our word is equal, now this is not a character, it's a string, so the double quotation. So if our word is to period, then we have to step back from our directory. Else we don't have to step back, we have to go inside the folder. Now I just had another idea in my mind. Instead of this directory being string, I can just simply take a vector, and inside that vector I'm gonna store some string of words like home, Vasya, and whenever I need to print that, I'm gonna print / and then the index 0, whatever is in it, and then another / and then whatever in the next index. That makes the job a whole lot simpler than just manipulating the string. I mean, you have to do a lot to just manipulate the string. Okay, let's first manipulate the string, okay? Just for the learning purpose. Then we can also do it with the vector or not. Let's see if I have the let's just manipulate the string here, okay? You know what? I'm gonna do it with vector. I changed my mind. It'll be a lot simpler. Directory. And then inside that directory, now whenever we hit pwd, now we cannot print our directory like this. We have to take a for loop, or it can be a ranged based for loop. So before we even begin doing anything, we have to print out a / and then everything comes after. We're going to print our path name for one folder, and then point, and then a / and then in the next iteration, let's say for this one, print that, and then the / and then if there is nothing, just get out of the for loop. Simple. Also don't forget the end line after, because each of our answer is on a different line. So whenever we don't hit double period, what we do and what we get, we just get a folder name, right? One folder name for each iteration. So simply insert that folder name into the directory. Directory dot push back the word. Okay, and whenever we hit double period, what we do is we remove the last word that we pushed. And with vector, how you remove the last word, you simply type something like directory dot push pop back. I think that is a keyword for the vector. Yep. And I think we are done. We don't have to do anything else. I think. Let's see if it's working correctly, or we have to change anything else, add something. pwd should print this. Okay, working. cd home. Oh, one more thing. I am taking a paragraph input, not a single string, but oh no, I'm taking these two inputs separately because I'm first taking the CD input and then taking the rest of the string as input, so I'm fine. And that should give us, oh no, no output yet because we didn't hit PWD. So now if I hit PWD, I should get something like this, exactly like this. Wow, it's working. Now for CD double period, and if we hit PWD, we should get something like home because we went to the previous folder. Wow, perfect. Now CD Vasia double period / Padia, and then if we hit PWD, we're gonna get home Padia. Wow, exactly how we wanted this to work. Now should I check this for the next one too? Yeah, let's check it. I also enabled the this thing, Synchro Studio, so we're gonna get the result at the end of our input, not in the middle of the input. So let me just type all the input. See, we're not getting any output now, but we'll get at the end of our input. When we are done taking all the input, then we'll get the output. Now, exactly how they wanted. It's submission time now, and I hope there is no corner cases left. Oh wait, what if there is a corner case like that? When, yeah, I think we hit a corner case. I just remembered. I mean, one corner case just came to my mind. Suppose we are at the root directory, or suppose we went to this folder, home or temp folder. Then we hit something like cd dot 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 dot. Now for the first dot, we can go to the previous folder, home. For the second dot, we can go to the previous folder, root. But what if we hit another step back? Where are we going? There is nothing before root, so that is a corner case, and we didn't watch out for that. That's how we got the error. We made a mistake, and now we have to solve it. So if word equal this and directory dot empty or directory dot size greater than 0, obviously. I mean, there has to be at least one folder, or wait, suppose we are at the okay, suppose this is the root, this is the home, and we hit this, and directory size is 1. Okay, then we go inside here and then pop home, and now our size is 0. And then if we hit double period again, and now the size is 0, that means we don't enter because there is nothing to pop out. Okay, this is gonna work. Let's see. For debugging purpose, I'm gonna turn this off. Now I'm gonna hit the corner case, okay? Let's do 10 operations. Let's hit PWD. We're at the root, okay? Now let's hit let's hit CD. Then what? Home. Home. Then temp. Okay. Now let's hit PWD. We're at home and temp. Now let's step back. Okay. Home. Now let's step back again. We're at the root. Now what if we step back again? Where are we going? That is a mistake. Did we go to another route or what? Something? Why did we get something like this? Why did we got something like this? I mean, it was supposed to be looking like this. What if we hit step back again? Oh, we ran out of operations. Let's just copy. Oh no, the output is also here, so we cannot copy this. I don't understand. Why are we getting that? Let's take 100,000 operations. Not 100,000, just 1,000 operations. Yeah, this is the root, okay? CD home temp. Okay, home and temp. Then step back. Home. Then again step back. Root. Then again step back. You should still be at the root. Why are you going to another root? What happened? What? So one time it's the right answer and one time it's wrong answer and then again the right answer. I need to debug. I deleted. Okay, again we went inside this if condition. Delete it. Now if we hit this again, we are not supposed to go inside, okay, because our directory is empty now. We didn't go inside, then why? if we are not hitting this, we are hitting else. That's why we went into this. I figured it out. No, even if this doesn't work, you're not supposed to go inside. You are not supposed to go inside. Oh, I think I made a mistake by putting this condition inside this if. I mean, it is supposed to be inside this if, but not here. It's supposed to be inside this, actually inside. That way we don't get to this one when this condition fails. So when we have double period, we are definitely gonna go inside this if condition no matter what. Then we're gonna decide whether we're gonna delete or not. Okay, so that's why we need another if condition inside that if condition. That was our mistake. And when if our directory is empty, we are not deleting anything. We're only deleting when this is not empty. That should solve our problem that we had. Let's try running it. Let's take 1,000 operations, pwd, yep. cd home temp pwd, okay, got it. cd step back home, yep. cd step back again, root, okay. cd step back again. It should still be in the root now, yep, got it. No matter how many times I step back, it's gonna stay in the root, and that's what we want. Now let's try submitting this again, and hopefully that is all the corner cases we have to watch out for. Running on test case 3. Oh, you're getting another error. Now what could be the problem? Let's see if it's matching with our output or not. It's exactly the same. Where did I went wrong? I have to read the statement again. You know what? I've been talking for too long. I need to drink some water. I'm gonna be back later.